Hello friends and welcome back to Virtual Happy Hour. If you're a big vodka connoisseur, you would probably have been able to guess what it is we're making tonight, which is none other than the classic Harvey Wallbanger. Either you've heard of this drink or you very much haven't and you're very confused. This drink is made with vodka, freshly squeezed orange juice, and a Galliano liqueur float. It is garnished with a slice of orange and a maraschino cherry. It is a built-in glass cocktail, so couldn't really be much easier. It is basically a variation on the classic screwdriver, so if you don't have Galliano, just go ahead and make a screwdriver, okay? Okay, sounds good. This cocktail has a hotly contested history. For a long time, a lot of people thought that there was a famous mixologist by the name of Duke Antone, who was a 3-time world champion mixologist, that he created this at a bar in LA back in 1952. But subsequently, a few of our favorite culinary historians have dug deeper and determined that that bartender actually wasn't based in LA at that time. No record of the bar that they attribute to having created it being ever in existence either. So probably not the case. Instead, another culinary historian has determined that this drink was probably actually just a marketing ploy by a group called McKesson Imports, who are responsible for importing Galliano liqueur. So Galliano is a sweet herbal liqueur. It has a really big vanilla flavor profile. So the original recipe, which unfortunately I don't have, doesn't appear to be sold in the LCBO. I did take a look before jumping on here today, is actually about 85 proof and has less of a vanilla note. So they kind of create the liqueur by doing the herbal infusion, and then after they're done that infusion, then they subsequently add some sugar, some vanillin, and other kind of components to give it its really big vanilla flavor. So this is actually going to be sweeter and less boozy with this version of Galliano that's available to us here in Ontario than the original recipe. So we'll see how it turns out. But yeah, so they think that this imports company came up with this as a marketing ploy. They even had a graphic artist illustrate this guy, Harvey Wallbanger, because the original cocktail lore was that this famous mixologist guy, who actually probably didn't invent it, that he had created it at this imaginary bar for an imaginary person, a surfer by the name of Harvey Wallbanger. So that's where we get the name Harvey Wallbanger, although probably just a marketing ploy, and they had a graphic artist create an illustration of this Harvey Wallbanger surfer dude, sandals, and this executive from the same the import company, McKesson Imports, came up with a tagline that was, "Harvey Wallbanger is the name and I can be made." Doesn't exactly trip off the tongue, not a super memorable cocktail name, I don't think. Or not a super memorable tagline, a very memorable cocktail name. So we're gonna do 1.25 ounces of vodka. I am using Georgian Bay Spirit Co. vodka, which actually just won an award for being one of the best vodkas in the world. So give it a try if you haven't. So that's 1.25 ounces of vodka. And then 3 ounces of freshly squeezed orange juice. If you don't have fresh oranges, again, it's always about participation, not perfection. So you could use orange juice, although obviously freshly squeezed is always preferable. So we're gonna do 3 ounces of this. So yeah, it was just, that kind of got me thinking about how ridiculous that name is, Harvey Wallbanger, and it just kind of got me thinking that maybe we should all come up with our own names, if we were a drink. If I were a drink, I would be Yvonne Bed Shaker. What would you be? Come up with a name. So the components of coming up with your cocktail name are your actual first name, followed by a object, so a wall or bed or anything, purse, whatever you want, whatever object, a noun, a physical thing, a tangible thing, noun, and then your action of what you're doing to said thing. So Joey Purse Snatcher, for instance, or Alyssa Closet Raider. Just come up with some names. Think about what you would be. Please submit your name, your invented cocktail name below, And then I'll share them with the group. I'll share the best and the brightest. So now we're gonna add ice. Oh, my ice is glued together. There we go. We've been down this road before. This is not enough volume of stuff for this glass. Why? It doesn't work with regular ice cubes in this glass. Let's pivot. Let's pick a different glass. And we're just gonna unceremoniously dump it into a rocks glass because that's working better for me. And then we're just gonna give it a little stir in the glass. And then we're gonna top it off with a float of 1/2 ounce of Galliano. And as I said, because this particular version is sweeter and more vanilla-y than the original version, this might make for fairly intense first sip of vanilla. So again, pouring over the back of a spoon. This may or may not end up entirely on the countertop. Nope. Better than anticipated, but because the drink and the Galliano are the same color, I don't really know what the point of that was, but following the instructions for a classic cocktail. I'm just gonna, how do I wanna do this? Do I wanna just put it on top? Well, maybe I'll just put it on the lip of the glass. See, this would have been cuter in my Collins glass, but alas. A maraschino cherry skewered with a golden star cocktail pick. So let us do something. Comme ça? All right, well, you know, very low score for presentation on this one. Cheers. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't blow my mind. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, this is certainly not my favorite thing I've ever made. I don't think I'm gonna start ordering Harvey Wallbangers. Yvonne bed shakers would probably be better. Like, it's very drinkable. Like, it's dangerously drinkable. This is a great brunch cocktail. Like, let's just get fucked up before 11 a.m. That's what this is. So, you know, they can't all be lights out, guys. They can't all be just like, you know, an alcoholic tour de force. Some drinks are just better than others. And some drinks just appeal to your palate more than others. So, remember that. Oh! Exciting news if you've managed to stick around for the entirety of this episode. I will be returning to morning television on Friday, appearing on CTV Ottawa Morning Live on Friday at 9:50 a.m., 50 a.m., making some upscale frozen cocktails for one last taste of summer for the Labor Day long weekend. So I hope you'll tune in. CTV Ottawa Morning Live, Friday morning, 9:50 a.m., upscale frozen cocktails with yours truly, The Tipple.